I was given a chance to go back and save my dad from being murdered. For me, life was an endless loop of drugs and pain. It all started when my father was killed in front of me and my little sister. He was shot in our bedroom by some faceless figure that seemed to emerge from the darkness. After it happened, my mother fell apart, killing herself 2 years later. I wasn't sure who I hated more, my mother for abandoning us or the person who killed my father. My sister never talks about it. She completely shut down. We lost contact a few years ago, and the last time I saw her, it was to identify her body. The coroner's report said it was an overdose, but I knew it was more than that. I had moved around a lot due to my drug habit. Money was always tight, so the last place I found myself in was a dump. The whole place was damp and moldy, nothing worked, and there was a strange tunnel in the closet. At first, I thought the tunnel went into the apartment next door. As I crawled through it, I was perplexed as it kept on going. Eventually, it came to an end, and I found myself in another closet. When I stepped out of the closet, I was hit with a familiar smell, something from my childhood. As I looked around the room, I soon realized I was in my old bedroom, the one I share with my sister. I crept out of the bedroom and quietly made my way around the house. I went downstairs, and there was my father's chair with his morning paper sitting beside it. I walked over and looked at the date. It was the day before my 10th birthday, and the night my father was murdered. I found myself back in my apartment. It didn't make sense. But then I thought maybe it's a chance to go back and change everything. I knew what I had to do. I had to go back and kill the man before he killed my father. That night, armed with a gun, I journeyed into the tunnel. As I came out the other end, I heard shouting and my sister crying. When I jumped from the closet, I found my dad beating my sister as my younger self sat on his bed, covering his ears. My dad's face was a mixture of fear, shock, and anger as I screamed at him to stop hitting her. He came charging at me, and without thinking, I shot him, and he fell to the floor. I could hear my mother screaming as I jumped back into the closet and down the tunnel. When I made it back to my apartment, it didn't take long for the realization to hit that it was me who murdered my dad all those years ago.